I took a side job cleaning houses in lingerie and ended up at my professor's place by accident, and while I can handle it like an adult, he's been dodging eye contact for months and I'm worried it's going to mess with my grades. So I'm in my 20s and he's at least in his mid-30s. I work for a cleaning service that offers fully exposed or lingerie-clad maid services. There is no intimacy or touching, and if boundaries get crossed then the client is struck from the client list. The client can ask for a type, like hair color, race, weight, age, gender, but they cannot pick a specific maid. Their maid is assigned by the company. Both client and the maid have the option of using a fake name, and pictures of either party are not provided. Any institutions the clients and maids are linked to, like school or work, are also noted so something exactly like this doesn't happen. All of this is done for confidentiality. Clients can request after the first session that the same maid comes back, but that's it. I'm explaining this to show that it is impossible for him to have requested me or known it was me beforehand. I got a message from the company saying a nearby and anonymous client had requested a lingerie-clad maid and I was his type. I went, in jeans and a t-shirt with the lingerie underneath so he didn't see anything, knocked on the door, and my lecturer opened it. I realized what had happened and said that the agency typically filters these things out. Clearly there was an error, and I can stay and be professional or I can get him another maid, but whichever he chooses, we should both just forget this. He asked for another maid, so I called the office, explained, and left. The office says due to computer and human error, no one clocked in that we are linked with the same school. I had to go into school a few days ago along with some classmates and we ran into him. He was awkward, uncomfortable, wouldn't look me in the eye, and refused to even directly address me. We ran into him again later that day and it was the same, if not worse that time. We also had some classes at the end of last academic year, after the mix-up where I ended up at his place, and I was similarly ignored, though I attributed this at the time to the online format of the classes. This would just be one of those things, except I have classes with him all next year, as well as private meetings with him to discuss my studies. These have to be done with him, are compulsory, and can affect my grade. While I know that I can act professionally, I am concerned that he cannot, as it has been several months and he is still not passed it. I am putting a lot of time and money into this, and if this is how he will act for the remainder of it, I feel I will not get what I paid for it and that my grade will suffer. I do not know how best to progress. I cannot afford to let my grade go to crap, but talking to him might make things even worse. Any advice? Top comment: clearly a lot of the people giving you advice here don't work in academics. I do. For the love of God, don't put anything in writing unless you actually want to get him fired. He is not going to give you a bad class participation grade if he is the one preventing you from participating by ignoring you. As for meetings with him, just meet for your degree the way you would if this had never happened. If you treat this brusquely and professionally, he will eventually too. If you must address it, at the end of your meeting, while you're leaving, say I would really appreciate it if you would keep what I do for a living to yourself. Obviously I am giving you the same professional courtesy. I would love it if we could pretend that incident never happened. Don't put anything in writing. For the love of God, do not show up to his house again, even to leave a note in his mailbox. That's how you progress into stalking. Don't do anything crazy to make him notice you in class. Offer to participate the way you always would. Do your meetings with him as if this never happened. Update: 1 month later, he reported me. I booked a meeting with him during office hours so I could clear the air, as was suggested on my last post, and then followed it up with an email that simply said that his school is starting up again and its final year. I'd like a chance to meet with him to talk about my dissertation and make sure he approved of the topic before I launched into it, something that is completely standard and everyone else is doing, but was somehow enough to panic him. The maid service I work for also offers completely clothed maids, so from what I can gather he's gone to the uni saying he paid for a fully clothed maid and only went through this service because of their extensive vetting, but when I showed up I offered to do it without clothes on in exchange for extra help on my dissertation. He said no. Obviously this is bull crap, and I got the recording of the phone call I had with work and gave it to the uni, which was enough to stop the investigation, but I couldn't get his payment records to prove he paid for lingerie due to the anonymous payment system, and any more than that would require a legal case, which I can't afford. And even if I did manage to stay here, I still have to be in his classes as they are mandatory, but at the same time my uni have basically said that they can't put me in his classes after this because I have essentially been accused of intimately harassing him. He must have reported me the second I sent in my meeting request, because I got the email from the person dealing with this literally less than a week later. I have no clue what the heck he's thinking. I'm assuming he thought I would report him and decided to get ahead of it, but even that makes no sense as all I did was request a meeting. Whatever his logic, I am dropping out. I am 1 year off of completing my degree, so I've submitted some inquiries about transferring to nearby universities, but because this has happened right at the start of a new school year, it's going to be 10 times harder than it would be if this happened over summer or last year. The only upsides are that I've not actually been expelled or suspended, so I won't need to explain this to anyone. The uni seemed fine to just let me go quietly, and another lecturer is writing me a reference. The agency have also said they will blacklist him, and they share this info with other services, so hopefully he won't be able to do this to anyone else. Just Jesus Christ. Edit, adding that I have had a free consultation with a lawyer and I will not be pursuing legal action. The best case scenario, Where I win, my name is cleared, and I can stay in this uni, my profession will still be outed, I will be shunned by classmates and staff members, and my lecturer will continue to be a jerk, and I'll be staying at a uni that have confirmed they will throw me under a bus to save a weaselly prick. Even the best case scenario will also earn me a black mark next to my name in academic circles. Update 3 years later, OP updated with a new account after her posts were featured on Smosh. Just caught up on the Smosh podcast and, well. Comment number 1, is there another update? OP, not really to be honest. I'm at another uni, feeling super supported, doing a PhD and building my career. The lecturer who ratted me out is still teaching, but when people went back to classes properly post-COVID, I put his name on the creep list. An anonymous Google Doc the women at uni shared of men to avoid, and like 4 different people vouched for him being a creep, so at least they know who to avoid, and I'm safe and happy at another uni with a straight woman and gay man supervising me, both of whom went to bat for me when another separate lecturer made a pass at me. Like I feel like the overwhelming reaction to my story was just, well, that's depressing, and I wish I had a non-depressing update, but that's how academia works, I guess. C'est la vie. But I do want to say that when Shane read the comments from my post, he read one that I listened to at the time saying don't make a paper trail because I'll get him fired, and PSA, make the paper trail. I really regret listening to that guy, which I only did because he said he was in academia. Assuming it's a guy because that's advice a guy in academia would give. I would still have had to leave the uni even with a paper trail, and I'm probably better off at my current uni than I was at my old one, but if I'd made the paper trail they probably would have at least refunded part of my tuition, and I wouldn't be scraping to fund the PhD now. Comment number 2, glad you're doing well, and that people at your old uni know that the lecturer is a creep. Sucks that he still has a job though. OP, yeah, I'm glad I'm doing well too. I would love to be able to say that something worse happened to him, but the consequences of his actions are literally just a Google Doc. What shocked me was the other women who vouched for him, as in saying they also had weird experiences with him, because I honestly thought it was just me. Hopefully one day he'll be creepy to the wrong woman. But hearing my words from like 3 years ago read out to me while I was on the treadmill is definitely making top 3 weirdest moments of my life lol. Comment number 3, saying don't make a paper trail because I'll get him fired, and PSA, make the paper trail. Oof, that comment is terrible, you're totally correct. Anyone who has dealt with any sort of scary, bad, or uncomfortable situation, whether in the workplace, school, or just in life, always make a paper trail. Document everything, even if it's small. If you have to take it to a boss, school leader, or police, etc., the best thing you can do to have a situation taken seriously and rectified is to have some sort of tangible proof that something has happened by documenting and listing whatever the issue is. Even if it's verbal comments that you don't have audio proof or witnesses for, you have more luck being helped if you have made notes of those comments over time, than if you just go in saying so and so said this. Glad you're in a better place now. OP, yeah. I just never expected to be in that situation, so when the top comment was like, hi OP, I'm in academia and here's what you do, I just went with it. If I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be document everything. Hearing the comments read back, I got mad all over again, but mostly at myself for just going with what I was told back then. I even dug up the post and there were multiple people telling me to be careful that I don't upset him because I had the power in that relationship, which is just wild to me now considering how everything turned out, but at the time I fully went with it. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have even made the update if I wasn't so annoyed at those commenters, and Shane reminded me how annoyed I was when he read them out lol. Commenter number 4, holy crap, I remember this one and finding it insane. That guy was for sure a creep and I was pissed to hear he had tried to blame you, but at least other people know to avoid him. Thank God, hoping you've been feeling better at this new uni. OP, I'm doing so much better at this new uni, thank you. I was actually at this uni first, then switched to the one this guy worked at, so now I'm back at the OG and I don't know why I ever left, to be honest. This sounds weird, but I'm low-key hoping he continues being a creep so he'll do it to the wrong woman and she'll be smarter about it than I was. But yeah, it was insane to me because honestly that post is from like late 2021 and by 2022 I was at a new uni, moved on, completely forgot about it, and then today I'm on the treadmill listening to a podcast and hear that being read out. Like? Commenter number 5, I'm glad you're doing better. Wow, that must have felt surreal to have your story of what crazy shit happened to you in a video happen. I remember watching the video when it came out. OP, I immediately just picked up my phone and rewound and started looking for the info. I would have heard it sooner, too, but I only listened to podcasts at the gym and I've not gone in the last couple weeks. It was so wild.